Whoa, hey, hi. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Guess the commercial just ended abruptly. It's okay. We know Preston's working hard back there to get this figured out. All right, joining us on the phone for our breaking news this morning is Phil Dawson. Nice to have you back on the show, Phil.
Whoa, hey, hi, I'm on the air.
Hi, you're on the air. Sorry. It's hard to tell. You're not here in studio. We got to get you in here once. Can we do that just once?
Maybe.
I'd be.
So I can come dressed in costume.
You you can come wearing, as long as you have clothing on, that's fine. That's all we ask for. So, all right. Well, get us filled in here on what happened last night after the game and Bo Ryan retiring.
Yeah, it was pretty, certainly very sudden, kind of out of the blue. We knew that it'd be coming, if not during the year, that at the end of the year, he had announced it already. He was going to be hanging it up, but we were still uncertain of the timeline of it because, even at the beginning of the year in April, he had talked about that he's done for sure. He's going to coach one more year. It's all over. And then, later in the week, he at a golf event in, I think, Appleton it was, was like, well, I haven't retired yet, and I still have a contract, so I don't have to retire at the end of the year. So it put Badger fans in somewhat of a limbo of what's going to happen next for the coaching staff. And so then last night, following the win over Corpus Christi, it was just kind of a bizarre scenario that played out. It took an extra while for him to get to his press conference in the media room at the Kohl Center, and there was already a kind of a buzz going around, like, what is happening? Is there something going down? Then Barry Alvarez shows up at the press room, and then, like, reality kind of hits, because the way that Bo announced it, I mean, he started by discussing the game, and you could see that there was something else that was going to be said or something else that was going to happen. And after a few comments about the game, he went into his retirement speech, I guess, if you will, and laid out his reasonings and the opportunity for Greg Gard to take over on an interim basis to coach this year and have a shot at proving that he's the guy capable of taking over the program that Bo has been building and went to Hall of Fame status with. So it was a big moving, kind of emotional day and evening and press conference, and it was cool. I mean, there's no doubt about it, and it sets up Wisconsin here for. We'll see what we can get out of Greg Gard, and it's his audition for the rest of this year as the potential next head coach.
Yeah, and two follow-up questions here would be: you guys played on your show this morning on Lucas and Dawson. You had some sound bites from some of the players' reactions. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that? That they kind of could tell something during the game
as well. That they didn't see this coming, and all were recruited and getting to know and being confidants and that almost father-son relationship. I mean, he's a guy that it was an important piece in all of their lives. And Nigel Hayes made an interesting comment that prior to getting introduced, they do the big introductions, and it was the first time that he had made eye contact with Bo during introductions, and like that had never happened before, and that he had a sad face, and it was just a weird scenario. And then following the game, it made sense. He said it also made sense that the coaches, the assistant coaches, had taken on a bigger role this year in terms of practice and being the voice of the team and leading. And he said that makes more sense now, and that this was they knew it was going to happen. They didn't know when, and then it's an emotional time for them, especially as we head into finals week. This is their last game before finals next week. They don't play again to the 23rd, and most people, most of these young players know him as a living legend, and I think we all do. And so it was an emotional night for them too. And now they got to figure things out with Greg Gard. They all feel they're in the right place. It's a fine an easy transition, but it's also a big transition. So we'll see how that develops on a team that has I don't want to say underachieved. They've been in the spot that we knew they were going to be in, that there were going to be growing pains with this club, and that's what we witnessed, and now we'll see what they can do. They start a Big Ten play here at the end of the month.
Yeah, and I think this would be my next question is we're going to get a chance to see Greg Gard, in action here, and this is a great opportunity for him to play into, because he's not just getting the position. So we can say that first and foremost, that it was announced by Barry Alvarez that he has to post the position because of the state statute with the UW system. But at least he gets the opportunity to prove himself. But he's got a team that's, I wouldn't say in limbo, but just like you said, it's a team that's it's got some growing pains this year and whatnot. So what do you think? How does this play out then for the rest of the year? And if Greg Gard becomes the head coach of the basketball team moving forward?
Yeah, it makes it pretty fascinating what this team can do, because despite losing, 3 non-conference home games, something that never happened under Bo, they've been in all of these games, and they've had an opportunity, a shot to win or tie in all of them, and I think they lost by a combined 5 points or something like that.
Right.
And so, and they have 2 all Big Ten caliber players. They can be much better than what we've seen, and that's part of the growth process that we're going to see happen. And I think growth and competitiveness are the 2 things that we got to be looking for. How are they responding to Greg Gard as the head coach? I mean, that's the deal here, because Gard has never been a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
At the collegiate level. So, he's taking over and having this opportunity. How does he run the program? How will things change, if they will? How will this team get better? Because all that is going to be judged in terms of potentially making him the next, and if he's the right guy, because it may be hard to do and try to project wins and losses with this team, because I think we have a clear understanding that they do have their weaknesses, but can they overcome some of those? Can they get better, and will we actually see that, and how everybody responds as Gard takes over? And then in the doing the right thing too, because this will be a coveted job, and while Greg Gard is a good fit, if there is another coach out there that would be a fit and has the pedigree and has had success as a head coach longer than the few months that we're going to get with Greg Gard, I mean, it's a legit thing to consider. So that's going to be considered, and Greg Gard said he's all for that. But what this does, again, is give the opportunity to Gard to prove himself as a head coach to make the best impression.
Absolutely. All right, Phil, we appreciate the update. And I know you guys are going to have a busy day the rest of the day, kind of following up with the stories on this and whatnot. So we appreciate you taking the time out for joining us.
Yeah, and the thing is to remember that Bo helped achieve Wisconsin basketball to its highest peaks ever. And he certainly is a legend. He's going to the Wisconsin Hall of Fame later this year, and he deserves that. And, I think the last point that he's leaving his players right now, but he's done the ultimate solid for a true trusted friend and assistant, that giving him this shot was the last thing that he could do for, the guy that's been by his side for 23 years, and now it's up to him to take the ball and run with it.
Right, absolutely. All right, thanks, Phil. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, cheers, bye.
Bye. Hold on. We'll be right back.